all I can think about is today being one of the last days that I've got the opportunity to kick 2020's butt and get a win, get some momentum, and start building for 2021. Crazy stats that I read in the last day or two, which you'll probably heard of before. 72% of resolutions, which you may or not started, fail within the first 4 weeks of starting. I believe it's in only 2 weeks because there's 2 weeks of kind of still holidays and chilling and getting yourself started. So within 2 weeks, 72% of those goals, particularly in resolutions, fail. And then a further massive number of 90% fail within 3 months. And that translates into fitness, that translates into all kinds of things. And it's just got me wondering, why is that? How do I combat that? How do I fix that? Particularly for me, because I don't want that to happen. I don't want to quit within 2 weeks of getting there. And I've found that I've got a way that keeps me motivated, that keeps me in the game playing for a lot longer. And so today, being the last day of 2020, all I'm thinking about is habit stacking, is building momentum and trying to build this win. So then when I see and start tomorrow, I've already got that win under my belt. So I'm trying to create as much activity as I can. I'm ticking off little wins. I'm trying to get that momentum to go, hey, I'm winning. 2020 was all right. We're going to carry that through into 2021. That's the whole reason why I created the 90-day sprint journal, is so every day when I'm not sure what I need to do, I can look back and I can have a look at what I'm supposed to do every single day. And I think that's why 72% of people fail in terms of within the first 2 to 4 weeks of any resolution, is because that initial resolution was maybe short. It wasn't really thought out too well. And that's when I like to say, hey, you have a goal problem. And that goal problem can be easily fixed. The reason being is you don't lack the ability. I don't lack the ability. You don't lack the ability. You may lack the belief, but you definitely don't lack the ability. So what is it? What's the difference between why you may get through that intention and why maybe you don't? And that could be coming down right to today, which is, hey, you want to finish with your intention of how you want to start. Everyone's like, hey, you want to begin with the end in mind. I want to end with the begin in mind because I want to finish today how I intend to start tomorrow. And hey, guess what? I'm going to do that every single day. And I'm doing that for a 90-day sprint window, and I stack that 4 times a year. So when I wrote down a resolution previous to goals, it was one thing. And maybe you wrote down one thing. But when I'm writing down resolutions, which I don't call resolutions, I'm calling goals, which are laughable goals, it started to make sense. It started to trigger. It started to slingshot this momentum over time. And so now, instead of writing a resolution, which I'm not a fan of, but we need to turn that resolution into a slingshot, into a staggered step process of, hey, when I get to this, I can get to this. And it's a much longer play. And I can do that, and you can do that by setting down your long-term, short-term, mid-term goals. And you can start having a look at, hey, what do you want to do every day? What does your whole life want to look like every single day, and how close can you get to that? If you were to think about today, right? You can get there really quickly. Think about today. Go, this was the last day. That's it. You get nothing left. You get one day. Would you be doing something different? You'd be doing something different, right? And so how different would that be to what you're currently doing? And then if you were to have a look at that, how realistic of you doing that, is it as close to how long would it be until you could do that forever? Was your one thing that you would like to do today be the same of, hey, I wish I could just do this today? It's mostly going to be around family, but hey, maybe you want to do this. Maybe you want to start that idea, start that podcast, play music, say hi to that person, go to that place. But how close of those things and how close of that is what you really want your life to look like? How close can we bring that together? And then what steps do we need to take in a short term, a mid-term, and a long term that we can do every single day down into 3 simple goddamn steps? 3 targets, 3 intentions every single day until we start building that habit, we build that momentum, and we're doing that in 90 days. I'm doing this in 90-day sprints. And I'm trying to build my life to be exactly like that day that I want. Because that's the whole reason why we're here. That's the whole reason why I'm here. I'm trying to chase freedom. I'm trying to live a good life, and I'm pretty sure you're the same. So if today was the last day, what was it, or what is it that you'd really want to be doing? And how close can we get to that, and how do we start building that? If you can start look at that in a way that you start changing the way you write your goals down, you start changing the way your intentions are about today and tomorrow and the next day, that 2 weeks, you're not going to be a part of that 72%. You're not going to be a part of that 90% because you start playing from a different level. And the reason those people failed, and the reason why you may fail within the next 2 weeks or the next 4 weeks, is because the short term, the mid-term, the long term were not big enough, were not juicy enough in order for you to keep going. And that's the whole thing when I say, hey, you have a goal problem. It means that your resolution, what you put down on paper, was not enough buy-in for you to stay committed. When things got hard and you didn't want to do it, every day I go to this, I look at my goals, I set my intention, I'm writing that down every day, and that is how I'm able to stay committed, and that's how I'm able to stay disciplined, even on days when I don't want to do it, even on days when I'm down. It helps me stay up. And I attach the gratitude onto that every day, and then I'm doing that every day, and I'm tracking myself every day on how I'm going. Out of 10. From an energy perspective, from an exercise perspective, from a food, water, all of those things, sleep. How am I actually going? And if I can put all of those metrics in and you can work those things in your own way, there's not one way to get there. There's many different ways. But if we don't work at the goals, if we don't work at the intentions, and we make that a priority in life, it's not going to happen. You're going to get so close and then you're going to give up because you're going to think it's so much further away than what it actually is. Whereas if we can close that delta, we can bring these steps down and we say, do the math. What's the actual math? And if we started on that today, I promise you, in the next 30, 60, or 90 days, you'll be so much further ahead than you would have been if you wrote down one resolution. Hey, this is my resolution. No, this is my mission. This is my reasons. Reasons equal results. No resolutions have reasons. 90-day sprint. I promise you it's going to help you. Get down. You can write it down really quickly. Short term, long term, mid term. I promise you it's going to work. Remember, today is the day to stack. Today is the day to get that win. And I'm going to see you through into the next year. And I wish you well. I'll see you in the next one.